Okie dokie. In this one, we're going to review solving equations. So at the bottom, I want you to take some notes. So the first thing we're always going to do is we're going to simplify. So that means we either need to distribute or combine like terms. Okay. So if there's nothing to distribute, nothing to combine like terms, you get to skip this step. Then after we simplify, we are going to undo the constant. Which is the number that's by itself, okay? And then we're going to undo the coefficient. Give myself a little more space. Okay, so simplify, undo the constant, undo the coefficient. So these first two, they don't have anything to simplify, right? They don't have parentheses, and they don't have any like terms that are on the same side, right? 7n and 7, not like terms because this one doesn't have a letter. This one, okay, on the side of the variable, also no like terms, so I don't need to do anything with that. So we're gonna put our line through our symbol. Remember, that is just for organization. That is just to help us keep our math thoughts straight and organized so that we know what's happening. It doesn't serve a mathematical purpose. Okay, so I don't need to simplify, so I'm gonna skip to undoing the constant. So we always look on the side with the variable, that's why we separate the sides. Okay, on the side of the variable, the constant is the number without a variable. So this minus 7, we're gonna circle it. Okay. That's our constant that we have to undo. To undo minus 7, I'm going to do the opposite, which is plus 7. What I do on the side of the variable, I have to do on the other side as well, on the other side of the equals. Then we draw a line underneath to keep ourselves organized. Okay. The purpose of this plus 7 was to get rid of this minus 7. So those two cancel each other out. Then I have 7n equals, and then 35 plus 7 is 42. And then all you need is a calculator to prove it to you. Okay, so we got rid of the constant. Now we have to undo the coefficient. The coefficient is the number that's multiplying or dividing the variable. So this 7n means 7 times n. The opposite of times is dividing. So we're going to divide by 7. What I do on this side, I have to do on the other side of the equals as well. Then draw the big line underneath to say, okay, I'm doing a new thing now. 7n divided by 7 is 1n. 42 divided by 7 is 6. Okay, so this one works the same way, even though it's flip-flopped and does not have an equal sign. So we put a line through our inequality symbol to keep our thoughts organized. Then working on the side of the variable, so on this side, we're going to get rid of the constant, which is the number that's being added or subtracted. So we are adding 8. To get rid of plus 8, I'm going to do minus 8. What I do on this side with the variable, I have to do on this side as well. So I'm going to do minus 8 on this side. Then draw a big line underneath. So the point of the minus 8 was to cancel out the plus 8. So on the right side, I have x over 4. Then on this side, it's negative 4 minus 8, which is negative 12. So negative 12 is less than x over 4. Okay. Now I'm going to undo my coefficient. So what's happening to the x right now is that it's being divided by 4. The opposite of dividing by 4 is multiplying by 4. What What I do on the side of the variable, I have to do on the other side as well. So draw a big line underneath. So dividing by 4 and multiplying by 4 cancel each other out. I'm left with x. And then negative 12 times 4 is negative 48. We do not flip our symbol because the number doing the multiplying, the 4, was just a regular 4. Okay? All right, so these ones we will have to simplify first, okay? So this one has parentheses, so that means I have to multiply. So I'm going to take the number on the outside of the parentheses. So we're going to ignore this negative 92 for a second. We're going to take the 4 times 1. And we're going to multiply it by the other term as well. So 4 times 6n. 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 6n is 24n. And since that's a positive 24, I'm going to add it. Okay. So now I get to solve like normal. So working on the side of the variable, so on this side, we're going to get rid of the constant, which is the number by itself, so the 4. To get rid of the 4, I'm going to subtract 4. What I do on this side of the variable, I have to do on this side as well. So the point of that was to get rid of the 4, so the 4 goes away. We still have a positive 24n. Negative 92 minus 4 is negative 96. Then I have to undo the coefficient. So 24n, when they're stuck together, that means multiplying. To undo multiplying, we're going to divide by 24. So on this side, negative 96 divided by 24 is negative 4. 24n divided by 24 is just n. So n equals negative 4, if you want to write it bigger. Okay, this one is the same idea. We put a line through our symbol for organizational purposes. We have parentheses. Okay, I cannot do 6y minus 7. They are not like terms. So I'm first going to distribute and multiply. Scooch it over a little bit. So we're going to do 6 times 6y. Then we have to distribute to the other one. 6 times, this minus has to go with the 7. So 6 times 6y is 36y. And then 6 times negative 7 is negative 42. So we're going to treat that like a minus 42. Equals 246. Then, working on the side of the variable. Okay, we have to get rid of the constant, this minus 42. To undo minus 42, we're going to do plus 42. What I do on the side of the variable, I must do on the other side. The purpose of that was to get rid of the 42s, so those go away. We still have a 36y. And 246 plus 42 is 288. Then we have to undo our coefficient. 36y, when they're stuck together, that means multiplying. To undo multiplying, we're going to divide. 36y divided by 36 is 1y. 288 divided by 36 is 8. So y equals 8. All right, hang in there with me. We got 2 more. And I'm being very thorough. Okay. All right, I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you can see my calculator better. All right, on this one, there's no parentheses, but there are some like terms. So let's put a line through our symbol. Okay. So looking on the side of the variable, some like terms I have are minus 4x and minus 5x. That minus has to go with the 4, and I'm going to treat it like a negative. So to combine those, I can add or subtract their coefficients. And we're going to type it like we see it. So we're going to type negative 4 minus 5. So that's negative 9x. Or minus 9x. I still have to include this minus 1. So I'm just going to bring it straight down. So now it's negative 1 minus 9x is greater than or equal to negative 10. Okay. Now we need to undo our constant. So looking on the side of the variable, the number that's by itself is this minus 1. To undo minus 1, we're going to do plus 1. What I do on the side of the variable, I have to do on this side as well. Draw a line underneath. The purpose of this plus 1 was to get rid of this minus 1, so that's what it cancels out. And then I'm done with it. It doesn't do anything with a 9. So on this side, we still have a minus 9x is greater than or equal to negative 10 plus 1, if I can type it right, there we go, is negative 9. Then we're going to undo the coefficient. Okay, negative 9x, when they're stuck together like that, means multiplying. The opposite of multiplying is dividing. So I'm going to divide by negative 9 on both sides. Negative 9x divided by negative 9 is 1x. Negative 9 divided by negative 9 is 1. And this is where my special rule comes into play. The number that was doing the dividing was negative. So I have to flip the direction of my symbol. So instead of a greater than symbol, it turns into a less than symbol. So x is less than 1. Okay, last one. Right. 6 is less than or equal to negative 7k minus 7 minus 1. So looking on the side of our variable, so this side, I'm going to find my like terms. So minus 7 and minus 1 are like terms because they're both constants, numbers on their own. Okay? And I can combine them. So I'm going to treat this like negative 7 minus 1 is negative 8. So minus 8. Then everything else around it is going to stay the same. So 6 is less than or equal to negative 7k minus 8. So looking on the side of the variable, so this side, I'm going to get rid of the constant, the number by itself, which is a minus 8. The opposite of minus 8 is plus 8. What I do on the side of the variable, I have to do on the other side as well. So these go away. 6 plus 8 is 14. So these 8s went away, and I still have a minus, oh, that's a less than or equal to symbol, 7k. The coefficient is the entire number in front of the variable. So negative 7k, when they're stuck together like that, means negative 7 times k. To undo multiplying, we're going to divide by the entire coefficient of negative 7. So 14 divided by negative 7 is negative 2. Negative 7k divided by negative 7 is 1k. Then again, my special rule comes into play. The number doing the dividing was negative, so I changed the direction of my symbol. So it goes from a less than sign to a greater than sign. It's going to open this way instead. All right, so I know that was a lot, but, you know, the more examples you see, the better. So now I have to practice.